All right, guys, welcome back. This is episode 16 of my Out of the Park Baseball 21 series with the expansion DuPage Pistol Shrimp. And things happened during the first couple of months of the season. We made a couple of deals. You may be able to see them there on our pitching staff. We made a couple of trades, did some stuff to try to improve the team, and we'll take a look at that, and then we'll take a look at the stats, and then we'll do the draft. So you can see we are 36 and 23, 4 games up in the American League Central over the Indians. But that isn't the big news. The big news is that we made two separate deals. We were able to get out from under Louis Patino's contract. I don't like trading people the first year into a contract, but he had started to regress pretty quickly. His control had dropped all the way down to a 24. He was 3-3 with a 5.26 ERA. He walked 50 batters in 65 innings. Granted, his BABIP was really high, but I mean, this was just not sustainable. And for what we were paying him, it was only going to get worse, and it was only going to get harder to deal him. So we were able to trade him, and we had to hold on to 5% of the contract. We sent him to the Angels, along with Alex Peacock, a 1.5 star second baseman, and a couple of minor league pitchers, Nick Rivas, a 1.5 star pitcher, and Isaiah Williams, a 1 star pitcher. And in return, we got a 33-year-old relief pitcher. I mean, we did it to cut salary. Deal is what he is, but we did it to get out from underneath the contract. So we had to give up Patino and a couple of low-level prospects to get out from under his contract. And then the big deal, I guess they're both kind of big deals. The same day, we turned around and traded Bob Ray, Jason Dominguez, Riley Smith, and Riley Stanford to the Mariners, getting starting pitcher Logan Gilbert and starting pitcher Jose Cornel. Obviously, we'll look at our guys. So the guys we sent first. Obviously, trading Ray was difficult. He's got a really good bat. He was our first real prospect, but high greed, low leader, low loyalty, low work ethic. Had gotten off to a rough start this year, and frankly, left fielder is replaceable. And we had to give to get. So we gave up Ray, Jason Dominguez, who also took a step back this year. Only had a 588 OPS. Still has some power, but probably won't be anything other than a backup outfielder. Riley Smith, who we picked up in the offseason as well. He was pretty good, but we were paying him a lot. So but Seattle wanted a pitcher in return since they were giving us two pitchers. So Smith made the most sense. He hadn't been bad, but, like I said, they wanted a pitcher. So we had to give something up. And Riley Stanford, who is a two-way player, plays outfield and pitches, does both moderately well. But the return was pretty substantial. We get back 31-year-old Logan Gilbert. They're retaining 25% of his salary. Gilbert's really, really good. He's been injured a bunch the last couple of years, but really good control, 4 great pitches, good stuff, good movement. Immediately becomes probably our number 2. And that's only because our number 1 is going to be Jose Cornel. We picked up a 24-year-old, 4.5 star starting pitcher with a 96 fastball, can throw 98 to 100, led the American League in wins last year, has 8 wins already this season. He immediately becomes our ace. And he's only 24. So we immediately upgrade our pitching staff and, maybe downgrade a little bit offensively, but not a whole lot because Hector Flores is putting up an 875 OPS, and he's going to slide in to left field. So Speaking of that, if we look at our offense, Ronald Acuna Jr. is doing everything we could have possibly wanted him to do. He's got 21 home runs in 59 games, putting up a 1,028 OPS, slugging 656, already good for 3.3 WAR. His partner in crime, Darian Perez, 19 home runs, 45 knocked in, putting up a 1030 OPS. Almost 400 on base percentage. Richard Urena having a really nice season for us, playing second and short. 8 home runs, and actually he's playing third as well. Caden Wallace is doing okay, but Urena's playing all 3 positions, doing really well so far. 848 OPS. Alex Padilla, our rookie first baseman, 27 doubles in 59 games. This is exactly what I was hoping we'd get out of him. He's on pace for 74 doubles, 19 home runs, 107 knocked in. I would take that. David Del Rio won the American League Rookie of the Month in May, excuse me. He's come on strong here, already put up an 830 OPS and almost 1.5 WAR through 43 games, so he's doing nice. Caden Wallace is on a bit of a hot streak here, so his numbers have started to increase. He's got that 515 slugging, which is solid. Waldhart has struggled a bit. 8 home runs, 22 knocked in, but still 863 OPS because of that really high on base percentage. Bo Naylor getting off to his typical rough start. Noel V. Marte is a bit concerning. He's got some power, but the fielding has slipped. He was a really, really solid shortstop to start things off for us, but he's already at a minus 3.8 zone rating in 54 games, so that might be something we have to look at as we go forward. So there's our offense. Some good, some bad. Pitching, Sweet Chan Yu, 7-3, 3.15 ERA. He continues to pitch really, really well at only age 25. You can see his ratings are continuing to get better. Everything continues to go up. So good signing for us there. We talked about Cornell. Sean Cervantes is having his best season, 8-2, 3.23 ERA. Yeah, and then the rest of our pitching staff, I got to send a picture down. We have, or do I? No, because I have 3 batters. I have 3 lineup guys who can also pitch. Caden Wallace, Hector Flores, and Jimmy Mitchell, who we just called up. So all 3 of these guys can pitch. So we have, that's why it says we have 16 pitchers. And yeah, I mean, Haifeng Yap has struggled a bit. The bullpen hasn't been very good. You can see the ERAs are pretty ridiculous. Ian McKelvey's been good. He's really been he and Alvarez have really been the only 2 relievers who have been above average so far this year. Everybody else has struggled. I got to get Norris some additional pitching. He's only pitched in 5 games. And his ratings, he's already our best pitcher. So we're going to make him a stopper. We're going to do that. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to make him a stopper. 8th and close or 7th? We'll go 7th and close. I want to get this kid some work. See how he does. So yeah, that's how things are going. It's a couple of big deals to kind of jumpstart us here a little bit. Not that, things had been bad. We're in first place, but I think picking up Cornel and Gilbert is really going to kind of vault our pitching staff here. So it is time for the first-year player draft. We're picking last again. Let's go ahead and pick draft till our next pick and see what we got available. So a bunch of I have it on. Bunch of relievers. That's no good. Let's look at batting potential. Who does the scout think we should take? Kevin Rapole, a center fielder. And he's not bad. OSA likes him more than we do, but he's got some power, his hitting ratings are pretty good across the board. He's a very, very good defensive center fielder. That's a possibility. I could see us going for a Kevin Rapole. Let's take a look at pitchers. bunch of starters that are just okay. Jimmy Landon I kind of like. He's got 3 good pitches. Do we have draft order? Yeah, we do. So we're picking 34th and 42nd. So I think I'm going to take the pitcher. I think I'm going to take Jimmy Landon. I really like that movement. And then if Ray Pohl is still there, we'll take him with the next pick. Let's look. Did he go? He didn't. Cool. All right, so we'll get both players. That works. Go to our next pick. Let's go back to pitchers. Chris Trout. $98 to $100. He's a ground ball pitcher. I don't like taking bullpen guys that early unless they're elite. Eric, yeah, he's only, yeah, I would take him if that third pitch was better than a 1. At age 20, that probably will never develop. I mean, is it already time to start looking at pitchers that are also hitters? To UCLA. Pretty well at UCLA. Don't really need another player with that kind of profile, though. This guy is a better hitter than he is. Lynn English. That's where my mother and my grandmother went to school, actually. So I'm going to take him, and I'm going to make him a hitter. Ken Pafford. Make him a batter. Is Trout still there? Trout's not still there. If he was still there, I would have taken him. Here's another one. Dave Stamp. Looks like we're going to go heavy on the pitchers that are actually hitters, and that's fine. You can get some very, very good value that way. John Atwater's not terrible. He's not very good, but he's not terrible. Jonathan Logan went to Nebraska. But basically 3 duplicate seasons. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, he's 22, so he's not going to get much better, but we can take him. Now let's see if there are any batters that are pitchers. I might take this guy just because of the stuff and movement, and if the control ever develops, then he'll be good. Yeah. Danny Facundo. And we go ahead and autocomplete. And we will negotiate. And it wants $4 million. It's fine. Wants under slot, which is perfect. And not that it matters. We have literally a buttload of money, so I gotta find. I think it was my 2nd round pick. Yeah, I think it was my 2nd round pick. Let's go to history index and draft history. Scroll down here. Pafford. Yeah, we got to make him what is he going to be? He's probably going to be an outfielder, right? He's got, yeah, it looks like he's going to be a corner outfielder. He's probably going to be a DH, but I mean he's only 17, so hopefully these ratings can develop. So let's go ahead and make him a left fielder. Let's see what that does to his ratings. Keeps him 2 stars, but it's still average. So we'll see what it changes to as we get more information on him. All right, so I think that's gonna do it for this part. I'm gonna go ahead and sim up to July 2nd. Do the international draft, then we'll sim up to trade deadline, and we'll do the trade deadline. So once we get to the 2nd, we'll start to look at potential trade. We'll look at where we need to make some upgrades. I might make an upgrade or two between now and then, but we'll really look at the lineup and the pitching staff and stuff once we get to international signing, and we'll figure out what we need at that point. So hang tight. Be right back. All right, guys, we are back. It is July 2nd, and things are okay. We're 50 and 35. We're playing a lot of very up and down baseball. If you look at our calendar, if you look at our schedule, where am I going? Right here, team schedule. If you look at our calendar from June, as you can see, the draft was right around here. A lot of win 2, lose 2. Like here we won 4, but then immediately followed it up with 3 losses in a row. Then we won 3 in a row and then lost 3 out of 4. And then we won 3 in a row and then lost 2 in a row. So we haven't really been able to really make a run here. Our pitching staff hasn't been great. Our 2 acquisitions have been, one's been okay and the other one's been really bad. And I'll show you one of the other issues I'm running into here in a moment. But Logan Gilbert's been terrible. 6 starts, 6.68 ERA. His BABIP is even relatively low, which means he's just not pitching well. 37 hits and 7 home runs in 32 innings. I mean, you have to think that this is going to change. Jose Cornel has pitched okay. Hasn't been going deep into games, but he's been okay. 5 starts, 30 innings, 4.15 ERA. He's had a couple of decent starts in here, but he hasn't been great either. I thought about hiring a new pitching coach. The axe always falls on the pitching coach and the hitting coaches when the team isn't playing well. But if you look at my pitching coach, he's perfect for this team. So Wes Johnson. He's outstanding. He's got an outstanding rating, and you look at his relationships. It's more than half my pitching staff. 7 of my pitchers can benefit from a power pitching pitching coach, and he's better than any other option out there. So I'm just gonna stick with him and hope that this is just a rough patch that the team is going through. Offensively, we'll take a look at the lineup real quick. You can see Acuna continues to hit really well, put up a 4.0 WAR, 28 home runs. Darian Perez still has an OPS over 1,000. On-base percentage right at 400. Richie Durena continues to play well. David Del Rio has gotten even better this month. He's hitting even better. Caden Wallace had a really, really nice month for us. If you look at his batting splits for June, 354, 400, 671, hit 5 home runs, knocked in 14. So he's playing really well. Alex Padilla is up to 34 doubles in 82 games, got 111 hits already, 854 OPS. Only reason that's not higher is because he's not a great defensive first baseman. And honestly, first basemen generally don't generate a ton of WAR unless they are absolute mashers with the bat, and he's not that, but I'll take what he's given me. Hector Flores came in this month and did a really nice job replacing Ray, so I'll take it. 6 home runs, 23 knocked in. Walt Hart continues to struggle, but the on-base percentage is still high enough that he can justify leaving him in the lineup. This is on base and his slugging. You just need that average to come up, 20 or 30 points. He doesn't even need to hit what he hit last year. I mean, if he can hit 250, then everything else will play because he's going to generate a ton of power. He's going to get on base a bunch. So just needs this average to be closer to 250, and he'll be fine. Bo Naylor is continuing to struggle, just after we sign him to a long-term deal. So hopefully he's just getting off to a rough start. And then the rest of the bench, yes, Noelvi Marte is not getting it done offensively or defensively. I've been keeping an eye on the trade block for shortstops, and there are some options. I've also been thinking about making a bigger move, but so far it's proven difficult. Pitching. Yeah, I mean, it's been you and Cervantes have been pretty good. Other than that, it's been bad. Bobby Knorr has stepped into that stopper role and done a really nice job. We made him our closer, and we actually took Yap out of the closer role because he's just been really, really, really bad this year. 7 home runs in 34 innings, 41 hits. He hasn't been good. So we're going to take him out of the closer role for a bit. We're going to make him a middle reliever and just let him kind of figure it out there. So we're going to run with Knorr and McKelvey at the top. And McKelvey has pitched really well this year as well. So, I mean, our top 4 relievers, Knorr, McKelvey, Alvarez, and Gautier, have all been good. So those are the ones I'm going to lean on for the time being. And everybody else can just sort of pound sand. Yeah, so it's time for international amateurs. I haven't even looked at it yet, so I don't know what's here. So let's take a look and see what we have available. All right, so we have a couple of hitters and a pitcher. And I think I want to go pitcher this year. High loyalty, high work ethic, low greed. He's got 4 good pitches. OSA, they're much higher on him, and they have average scouting as well. So, yeah, I mean, you got some good hitters in here, but we're going to go Manny Pachardo. We're going to give him the 5. And I found that's the best way to handle it, because as soon as if I didn't offer him $5 million and I just said 3-4 is fine, somebody else would have come back and offered him 5, and then I wouldn't have been able to beat that, which means I wouldn't have signed him. So we're going to stick with that $5 million. So, all right. So if we look at our team, we're closing in on the trade deadline here a little bit, and what do we need? I mean, our biggest need is, I think, shortstop. Noelvi Marte has. He's hitting for some power this year, which he's never done before, but the average is super low, and he's also not fielding very well. So that's the one offensive position I think I would look to upgrade. I'm not worried about Walt Hart. His on base and his slugging is fine, so I'm not worried about him. Bo Naylor, I have to not be worried about him because I just signed him to that long deal, so I have to let him try to figure it out. So really, it's Noelvi Marte. So we need to see if we can find ourselves an upgrade at shortstop. Hang on just a second, guys. Sorry about that. So, yeah. So, what do we need leading into the trade deadline? So, again, Noelvi Marte is kind of that first obvious upgrade. Getting a better defensive shortstop helps everybody. Obviously, it's going to help the pitching staff. If he hits, great. If he doesn't necessarily hit, I'm not concerned about that. Especially in OOTP 21, I've found that there are a lot of those really high glove, no bat type shortstops, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with going back to the 70s when it comes to my shortstop and finding somebody whose primary impact on our team is their defense. Rather than maybe plugging in an Alex Rodriguez type. So we'll keep an eye out there. Bullpen arm, something else we are looking for, I think. Finding somebody to slot in here to the top 4 will be beneficial. I don't think we need another starting pitcher. Kenneth Quintanilla is doing okay as our number 5 for now. We called up Thompson a bit ago, and it was an abject disaster. He started 2 games for us and went a total of 3 innings in those 2 games, giving up 14 hits and 10 runs. So he clearly wasn't ready. So we're going to let him spend the season in AAA, where he's doing fine. So I don't really have an option in AAA. So maybe bringing in a starting pitcher would be beneficial. Just somebody to put in that 5 hole for the rest of the year. Bullpen arm, and a shortstop. So that's what I'm going to be looking to do leading up to the trade deadline, which is in exactly 29 days. So we'll be back in 29 days. Hang tight. Okay, it is July 31st. It is the trade deadline. We only made one deal. I feel like the deal that we made is going to help in a couple different ways, and then we decided to attack our shortstop problem internally. So we'll start with that. And we made the decision to call up Jeremy Bonner. He's not a good offensive player at all. There is some room for growth, though. He's got a decent eye. He's decent, at least controlling the bat. He's never going to hit for a high eye. He's never going to hit for any average. I mean, if he hits 230, that would be acceptable. But he's got good speed, and he is a great defensive shortstop. So you can see through 12 games, he's at almost a +1 zone rating, which is a huge improvement over what we were getting out of Marte. I'll take the lack of offense. It's fine. I'll take the lack of offense to get somebody who is going to play a high level of defense. There are some shortstops out here that are available. But the ask was just too much. They were just asking for too much. Like, the one I was looking at was Willy Adames, and if you look at the need, unless it's changed over the last week, yeah, I mean, they're looking for one of my best players. So I decided to just improve the team from within and see what we could do. The one trade that we made was with the Cincinnati Reds. And we sent 20-year-old Tony Villegas and 26-year-old Tyler Nesbitt to the Reds, getting Kyle Bradish. So we'll look at what we gave up first. Villegas is a 2.5-star center fielder. Good defensive center fielder. He's got some good speed. Never going to be a great hitter. So not really all that devastated in giving him up. And then Nesbitt was a former draft pick of ours, and he just hasn't developed as I would have liked. Bounced up and down between AAA and our team for the last 3 or 4 years. And in exchange, we pick up Kyle Bradish. Bradish is 31 years old. He's still in the league minimum. You can see he's played for Baltimore, Cincinnati, and now us the last couple of years. Good stuff, good movement. Control's a little rough, but he's got 4 good pitches, including a killer curveball, and he's going to be our number 5 starter. And you can see so far so good. 3 starts, 2-0, 3.15 ERA. BABIP's really, really low, so I don't expect that to stay. But he was pitching well with Cincinnati this year. He was only 3-4, but had a 3.18 ERA, so he's done pretty well. As a team, July was very, very good to us. We are 70-39 now. We were 20-5 in July, so things really turned around that month for us. You can see offensive numbers across the board are pretty good, except for Bonner's. Let's take a quick look at them. Acuna, 31 home runs, 4.5 WAR. Perez, 33 home runs, 80 runs knocked in, 4.1 WAR. So 2 players with over 4 WAR at the end of July. Then we have Padilla and Wallace coming in after that. Both of them are over 3 WAR. Wallace has put up 3.3 WAR in only 69 games. He's been fantastic this year for us. 612 slugging percentage. Alex Padilla has done exactly what we hoped he would do. He has replaced the offense totally that we gave up when we let Lewin Diaz go. And he's only 24, and he's going to be on the league minimum for a few years. So he's on pace for 65 doubles, 36 home runs, 129 knocked in. I'll take it. I absolutely will take it. David Del Rio having a really, really nice rookie season, 831 OPS, 2.5 WAR. Walt Hart had a really, really good month of June. You can see his average is up to 252, which is exactly what I was talking about. 926 OPS, 2.1 WAR. If we look at his July, 355, 420, 839. He put up a 1259 OPS the month of July. So, yeah, I would say he was good. Yeah, good is a good word for him. Urena continues to play well in a backup role. Hector Flores had a nice first full month for us. 879 OPS, already has 10 steals, 11 home runs. He's doing really well. Bo Naylor's come on, I think he had a pretty good July. 265, 359, 4. Yeah, I mean, it was just, it was a good month compared to what he did in June, and how bad March and April were for him. He's coming along. He's fine. He's playing good defense and giving us what we need. Then you got everybody else. We moved Marte to the bench. Like I said, he was just bad. Bonner's a -3 WAR because his offense is so bad. But defensively, he's getting it done, and that's really my concern with him. Pitching. We talked about Kyle Bradish. Jose Corniel is 5-0 in 10 starts with us. He's pitched pretty well. 58 innings, 47 hits, 63 strikeouts, 141 ERA plus. He's done a good job. Solid pickup so far. Sean Cervantes and Suishan Yu continue to pitch well, 23 and 10 between the two of them. Logan Gilbert has still not pitched. He's pitched better over the last month, but still not great. 4.97 ERA in 5 starts, so it's been better than June, but still not good enough. In terms of relievers, our bullpen is really coming along nicely. Bobby Knorr has settled into a closer role. In fact, I kind of would rather have. I mean, McKelvey's pitching so good that I can't justify taking him out of that role, but I think these two guys are interchangeable. Make one of them the closer, the other one the stopper. Not really sure yet. I think ultimately Knorr is going to be a stopper, and I'm just going to ride his arm as much as I possibly can. He's going to be so good when he develops fully. Cesar Alvarez having a really nice season for us, 1.61 ERA, put up 1.8 WAR already. DJ Gauthier pitching pretty well. I'm glad I didn't trade him. 73 strikeouts in 52 innings. Haifeng Yap continues to have a not great season. Things have sort of fallen apart for him, so we're going to move him to avoid high leverage. Phil Owens continues to struggle as well. So we have a couple pitchers that are having a really tough go of it this year, and they'll pitch less and less as we get closer to the end of the season. So yeah, I think we're pretty much set. I don't really want to give up any of my top prospects to improve the bullpen. I'm pretty content with where the bullpen is right now. Pretty content with where our offense is. Hopefully Bonner can hit closer to 200, and if he does, we'll be fine. Yeah, so we're looking good. We're sitting pretty on top of the NL Central or AL Central. When we come back, it'll be the end of the season. We will go through end of the season stats, and we will get to the postseason. So, yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. Until we talk again, everybody take care. Please leave a like and subscribe, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.